Welcome back to Iowa College and Career Readiness Academy 101. Now we're going to look at Session 2, Activity 2, CCR Data Scavenger Hunt. So this activity is an intense activity that takes a while for most participants to complete, and I want to walk you through it from the teaching perspective so you know how to get the information out of it that you need. So if you click on the link itself, it has activity itself that has 4 links within it. These links all are sources for the data that participants will fill out. When they fill out the links, when they fill out the questions, up here you will see, you might not see all of these. If you're a non-editing teacher, you're not going to see edit questions, but you're going to see some of these tabs. And I want to show you which of these tabs is relevant. So the first tab gives them the directions, what have you. Next, we're going to look at the Analysis tab. The Analysis tab is largely irrelevant here. And the reason is because this activity could be used for people answering the same questions similarly. So for instance, if everybody was answering percent middle school for the school that you taught at, and all the participants were teachers at the same school, you'd want to see some continuity between those numbers. But you'll see here, respondents are answering from different schools, so these should be different numbers. So the Analysis tab really isn't that relevant here. Okay, and really all of these tabs aren't going to be relevant unless you want to find an average of the average math proficiency of low income, low SES students of teachers taking this course at this time. That's how that would be relevant. So rather than looking at the Analysis tab, you're going to want to look at the Show Responses tab. And you'll also notice there's a little disclaimer here that says showing only first 10 questions. If it tries to jam all the questions in here, it's too long. Okay? So it's only going to show the first 10. This gives you an idea of who's completed the work. So you can see here, these are names, these are people who've actually completed the work. If you want to see a participant's responses, so you want to see more than just the 10 that are showed here, you can click on the date that it was submitted, and you'll see the response for all questions right there. Now, it's probably more relevant that you want to see who has completed all of it. This shows you who's completed the first 10. If you want to see who's completed all of it, the fastest way to do it is to, get your group. So here's your group. You're going to want to download, and you get to choose if you want a CSV file, that's fine. The CSVs are opened by both Google Sheets and Excel spreadsheet, or you can just download it as an Excel spreadsheet file. And when you click download and you open the document, here you're going to see the responses for every student, their entire response. Okay? So that's how you can see everybody's quickly. If you just want to see, who's done the first 10, you can look here. Another relevant tab here is the non-respondents. So you can look at people who have not started it. So if you're going to give a grade on, anybody that's completed it and you want to look at completions, you're probably going to want to use the download so you can see how far they got. But if you're making the assumption that if somebody started it, they probably finished it, then you could quickly just say, hey, these 2 people don't get a grade, and the rest of the participants, I think there was 10 total, the rest of the participants in that group would get a grade. Now that's the purpose for, let's just go back to it right here. That's the purpose for this assignment. This assignment's hidden from students, so they're not going to see it. It is only for grade input. So if I were going to input these grades, because this activity, it's a questionnaire, it's not a gradable activity, so you can't assign a grade to this. You can assign completion, but not a grade. And we can go in here to show you that there are completion settings, but there aren't any grade settings. The reason there aren't any grade settings is it's hard to say that there's a right and wrong answer when it's a questionnaire. Everybody's is going to be unique. So what we did was we just put in that kind of a dummy assignment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to download. Oh, I already have it downloaded. I'm going to open. Apparently I closed it. So we'll just go through this again. I've got this group. I'm going to download it as an Excel file. All right. So here I've got the Excel file of my participants' responses. Then over here, I'm going to go into that dummy assignment. Then I'm going to click grade. So you get to choose what their grade is. Well, the easy way to do that is if you just do, and if you're aware, you can just push and hold this. That's how you snap on a Mac. Because I snapped, it's all the way at the bottom. But there's no submission for this. Okay? Unsnap that and show you what I mean. There's nothing here. I didn't tell them to turn anything in. So I would just use this button here. And if you've watched the grading FAQ, it kind of walks you through these 3 buttons. But this is your grade. And if we, oh, I clicked that wrong. So we'll make that smaller. We'll snap this. And the other one isn't snappable right now. So they both have to be minimized. Okay. So now here's the participant. I can make sure that, okay. Yep, looks like they're pretty well done. Yep, they're done. So now over here I can input their grade and I can hit save. And I can just click the next person. So we can go to this one. That's this person. I can check their row. Make sure everything looks like it's done. And you may be checking, you may spot check, AF, AI, X. I mean, I don't know what you're doing, but you can spot check. This one, I might, oh, okay, that makes sense. Yep. I was going to say I'd dig into a little bit more, but they're just breaking up the subgroups. So that's how you can look at the submissions, and you can apply grades to those submissions quite quickly.